India lies to the east, in a region called Asia. It is a vast country, nearly 13.5 times larger than the UK. It has two long coastlines. On the west is the Arabian Sea, and on the east is the Indian Ocean. To the north, India has borders with several countries, but is cut off from most of them by a natural wall, the world's highest mountain range, the Himalayas. Below the Himalayas are the flat, fertile lowland plains, fed by three rivers, the Indus, the Brahmaputra, and India's largest river, the Ganges. Along the western edge of this region, near the border with Pakistan, the plains give way to the Great Indian Desert, also known as the Thar Desert. Below the plains is an area called the Deccan, and at its southern tip there's a range of smaller mountains called the Western and Eastern Ghats. Throughout India, hills, grasslands and forests are home to a variety of wildlife. Over 1 billion people live here in 29 states, and more than 18 languages are spoken. Most people who live here are Hindus, but there are also Muslims, Sikhs, Buddhists, and Christians living here too.
Welcome to India.
Welcome to India.
Welcome to India.
Welcome to India.
India lies within the Tropic of Cancer, in the Northern Hemisphere. It has three distinct regions: the cool mountain region in the north, the hot, dry central plains, and the hot, humid tropical south. In the foothills of the Himalayas, the cool weather and plentiful rain makes this an ideal area for growing tea. Fed by the melting snow and ice of the Himalayas, the Ganges flows through the central plain. This area is the heartland of India. The Ganges is also a holy river for the Hindus, the largest religious group in the country. People come here to pray and wash in the waters. Part of the Indus River floods the plains of the Punjab, an area in the northwest, making it a very fertile region. This is where most of India's wheat and cotton is grown. To the west, the Great Indian Desert, or Thar Desert, is hot and dry. There is very little rainfall and not much grows here. It is a vast, mostly empty region with few people and wildlife. It is an area of scrubland and dunes. The plants and animals that do live here have adapted to the local conditions and only need a small amount of water to survive. Water for drinking and washing comes from wells deep below the ground. The south of the country is closer to the equator and deeper into the tropics. This makes it hot, wet and humid here most of the year. This area is good for growing coconuts and rice. These regions are very different, but they all experience the monsoon. This is a weather system with winds blowing in from the Indian Ocean during the summer months. India has 3 seasons: cool, hot and wet. The wet season is from June to September. At the beginning of June, the monsoon wind blows in from the Indian Ocean and there are heavy downpours. It starts in the south and then divides, one arm going up the western Ghats, the other following the eastern Ghats towards the Himalayas. This is when India gets most of its rainfall for the year. It rains heavily almost every day, for 3 months, and the rain is warm. Most of the year India is hot and dry, so people welcome the rain. And farmers depend on it for their crops. Sometimes it rains too much, and there are floods.